Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and a good day to all of you, dear students. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you are enjoyed your part 1 that was about treatment of time into the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. Actually, in our today's lecture, we are going to discuss the second part of our this week lecture, that is stream of consciousness technique that has been originated, that has been started by, pioneered by Virginia Woolf. So Virginia Woolf uses the stream of consciousness technique in to present the fragmented, continuous flow of characters, thoughts, and feelings, revealing their inner lives and subjective experiences. Woolf employs interior monologue and free association, allowing thoughts to jump between past and present and to be influenced by external events, memories, and emotions to create a psychological character focused narrative. How stream of consciousness is used in the novel. So first of all, we will discuss this thing, that how it has been used, and after we will discuss the detailed analysis of the novel while keeping in mind the stream of consciousness technique. So first we have to focus on the inner life of the characters. The technique shifts the focus from a traditional plot-driven narrative to the rich internal world of the characters instead of just showing what characters do. The novel delves into the what they think and feel, often blending internal thoughts with their outward actions. And there is no chronological flow while using the stream of consciousness. Thoughts are not presented in a linear order. A character's mind can leap from one topic to another without logical connection, following a pattern of free association. For example, Mrs. Ramsay's thought might jump from a conversation to a bill for the greenhouse, or from a guest behavior to her own marriage. So this is the way that how the writer they portray the stream of consciousness technique in their works. The subjective experience was also there. The method allows the reader to experience events from the character's perspective, which are shaped by their individual perceptions and emotions. This can create tension, as seen with Mr. Ramsay's opinion, which triggered different emotional responses in other characters like his son James Ramsay. So these are the overview of the novel as a stream of consciousness that I have given to you, how the Virginia Woolf, she has used this technique. Now we have to discuss this in detail, stream of consciousness into the lighthouse. So it delves into the minds of its characters in a stream of consciousness approach. The characters' thoughts and feelings blend into one another, and the outward actions and dialogue come second to the inward emotions and ruminations. In the dinner party sequence, for instance, Woolf changes the point of view frequently with the transitions, often marked by sparse dialogue. While shifting the point of view from person to person, Woolf develops her characters through their thoughts, memories, and reactions to each other. Example is there from the text that in chapter number 17 of the window portion, the very first portion of the novel part, begins with Mrs. Ramsay's wondering what she has done with her life as she directs guests to their seats and ladles out soup. She sees her husband at the far end of the table, frowning. What at? She did not know. She did not mind. She could not understand how she had ever felt any emotion or affection for him. This is a line from the text. As she thinks about her displeasure and disconnectedness with the Mr. Ramsay, Mrs. Ramsay notes that she would not speak out loud about her inner feelings. There is a strict difference between her actions and her thought, and this is called stream of consciousness. Raising her eyebrows at the discrepancy, that was what she was thinking, this was what she was doing. Ladling out soup, she felt more and more strongly outside that eddy. Being outside of the eddy is her sense of being, past everything, through everything, out of everything. Completely out of touch with Mr. Ramsay and everyone else at the table in the dinner party, she instead focuses on how shabby the room is, how sterile the men are, and how she pities William Banks, finding meaning and strength again in her pity. She gets past her mental weariness enough to ask him an innocuous question about his letters. The point of view then again shifts abruptly to Lily Briscoe, who is watching Mrs. Ramsay intently and imagining her thoughts. Lily is able to read Mrs. Ramsay pretty clearly, how old she looks, how worn she looks, and how remote. Another line from the text that tells us about the stream of consciousness and the shift in the narrator. She wonders why Mrs. Ramsay pities William Bankes, and she realizes that the life in her had resolved to live again had been stirred by pity. Lily does not find Bankes pitiable, but she recognizes that Mrs. Ramsay is fulfilling some needs of her own. Lily Briscoe thinks about how Bankes has his work, and then her thoughts switch to her own work, and she starts imagining her painting and the adjustment she will make. As if to remind the readers of the setting, Woolf has Lily take up the salt cellar and put it down again on a flowering pattern in the tablecloth. So as to remind herself to move the tree, after all of Lily Briscoe's thought, Mr. Bankes finally responds to Mrs. Ramsay's inquiry as to whether he has found his letters. Another line is from the text again there. What demand wrought they talk? Thinks Charles Tansley, as a point of view, shifts to him very briefly. Lily observes how he lays down his spoon precisely in the middle of his plate, which he had swept clean, as if Lily thought he were determined to make sure of his meals. As if she can read people's thoughts, Lily's attention turns to Charles Tansley as she makes observation about him. She notes that his appearance is major and unlovely, but she is still drawn to his blue, deep-set eyes. Mrs. Ramsay pities him as well as she also asks him about his letter. So the whole novel is repleted with examples of stream of consciousness. Another is Tansley's response is incorporated into the text not as a direct quotation, as if he does not wish to join the banal conversation, but instead wallows in his thoughts. For he was not going to talk, the sort of rod. Again, the line is from the text is there. For he was not going to talk the sort of rod these people wanted him to talk. He was not going to be condensed to by these silly women. Tansley holds a woman and their ways in disdain. He finds them silly and superficial. Why do they get dressed up for such occasions? He is wearing his ordinary clothes. Women did nothing but talk, 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 eat, eat, and eat. Women made civilization impossible with all their charm, all their silliness. Again, the line is from the text that tells us about the stream of consciousness. By portraying his inner frustrations, Woolf lets the reader know exactly how Charles Tansley feels about dinner parties, women, and civilization as a whole. So, if I talk about stream of consciousness from the character's dynamics, by shifting the point of view from character to character, Woolf shares each character's thoughts and feelings, opinions, and reactions to one another. The dynamics between the characters are expressed more fully by their thoughts than by their words. So the light dialogue serves to break up the transitions in perspective. By blending people's inward feelings and their outward feelings, keeping dialogue to a minimum, Woolf develops her many-dimensional characters in a unique and memorable way. So this is all about our today's lecture. Thank you so much, students, for listening me. In case of any question, you should ask question from me. So this is how we have discussed, how we have analyzed the novel from first of all, we discussed it treatment of time in the novel to the lighthouse. Then we have discussed it that stream of consciousness. First of all, we have discussed that what is stream of consciousness, and afterward we have discussed a lot of examples from the text that are telling about the stream of consciousness technique that has been pioneered by Virginia Woolf. Thank you so much, students, for listening me. Allah Hafiz. Stay blessed.